This mod was created by the person who's behind all of my nifty opening intros and logos, and that is Ennead banner, The Winds of War by Myst. Modern yet minimal banners, handcrafted to 4K excellence. The only banner mod that replaces every banner in Skyrim and Vermunds. I probably said that wrong, I know I did. Compatible with all city overhauls and hold border banners. 4K, 2K, and 1K. So it also comes in potato texture options. Varieties of cloth qualities depending on the region's locale, populace, wealth, and status of the hold or faction the banner represents in the province. Weathering, burns, scours, drapes, folds, wrinkles, exhibit the passing of time and the bitter climate effects on the land in an authentic way. Every banner has been given the attention to detail it deserves, with custom shapes, embroidery, new symbols, and draping effects. There are many more banners than the mod author put into the screenshots, simply because the rarity makes them impossible to find in the location for proper screenshots. If you find any that the mod author couldn't, feel free to submit them right here. It'd be quite helpful. The mod author also recommends Hold Border Banners by Thickertford and Noble Skyrim by Shudder. Once again, this is a very thought out mod. As I've come to know Myst, she has an affinity for picking up tiny details that otherwise most would most likely miss. Almost a pun there. I noticed the level of distress depending on whatever area I was in. For instance, Helgen is a perfect example. Let's say you're playing Skyrim Helgen Reborn and you go back to Helgen after it's been burned and turned into a base for raiders and squatters. You'll notice that the hold banners for Skyrim there are tattered, they're broken, they're miserable, they're burnt. Perfect example, if you leave a kerosene heater running for like 24 hours, you have soot everywhere. So it would be like the mixture of rain and soot into the banner was there. And honestly, I thought it was a great subtle nuance, easily missed if you weren't, sitting there staring that close at the damn banner like I was doing. I would definitely recommend this mod for anyone looking for a bit more flavor in their Skyrim, a bit more immersion, a bit more ambiance, and seeing the differences in the wealth of each region. Chicken Butthurt Minimizer, aka Immersive Eggs by ShinGouki. Have you ever noticed how large the eggs are for chickens and all birds compared to their bodies? Have you ever then thought the pain that animal would go through actually trying to lay an egg? Well, I've come to save the butts of the birds everywhere. This mod resizes the eggs of all nested animals in Skyrim to be more realistic in size, while also adding a few more eggs in the nest for variations and immersion. No other changes have been made, and I have to say that this is a phenomenal mod. One, for the simple fact that someone finally did this, because I did find it odd, like the chicken's eggs were fucking huge, and there would only be one. There would always be one egg. This dude came in and just did such, oh god, it's a fantastic mod. And this is a must-have mod for anyone looking for immersion, like bar none. Best egg mod ever. Could be the only egg mod I've encountered. And also, you gotta give the guy a fucking endorsement for the description alone. Phenomenal. Simple action. The floor is a good place as any to sleep or sit by BralorMarr. There are a few mods that let a player perform all sorts of actions and poses, but the mod author never found one that offered only what the mod author needed, with a minimum of clutter. Therefore, the mod author put this together for himself, and here it is. It adds a single lesser power that lets you choose between sitting and meditating and sleeping anywhere. Incidentally, maybe the most interesting feature is the ability to actually conjure the sleep menu at any location whatsoever, ground, bench, even beds, whatnot, with a sleeping animation. So if you were ever looking for a mod that just gave you the ability to just pass out wherever, because I guess at this point when you think about the Dragonborn as a character, it's the strong super nord of magic dragon powers, but always had to sleep in a bed. But you're always out in rug, you're in caves, you're fighting in muddy ass areas, just passing out on a wood floor outside of like Winterhold, or not Winterhold, outside of Whiterun seemed outside of your character's ability, oddly enough. Now this mod fixes that. Also, I like the sit animation. In fact, the sit animation appeals to me the most, because it just gives that level of, fuck it, I'm gonna sit here for a little bit and look at the stream and watch these salmon jump out of the water kind of vibe, which I do at times in Skyrim. You know how it is when you have to go answer a text message or go to another room. This is the perfect animation for that. I would suggest this for anyone looking for freedom from the shackles of having to sleep in a bed to get your rest. Bells of Skyrim by Vermunds. Ever wonder why the game's official trailer shows us ringing alarm bells during the dragon attack, but there is no such thing in the game? This mod fixes that and adds those bells. When a dragon attack happens, the guards will ring the bell, alerting citizens. And that's all the mod author had to put in the description. And as soon as I saw the mod, even without reading the description, I knew exactly what this was for. And I think it is a fantastic touch. It's a great piece of content brought back to the game that was removed for some odd reason. And the mod author has a perfect point here. Often I thought about it, like when the dragons attacked, how the fuck did they alarm everyone? It's like the NPCs just immediately knew. You know, now that there's alarm bells, it is far more immersive, it makes more sense, it is perfectly placed, now all is right with the world. There are alarm bells for multiple areas. I was only able to come across 2 or 3, and I will probably only show you 2 or 3. Because at that point I was very sleepy, I hadn't had my nap. There isn't much more to say about this mod because it speaks volumes for itself. The implementation is fantastic. The guards that actually hang around the bell and seem like they're tasked with guard duty actually, especially in Whiterun, is where it's the most prominent. You have the guard sitting there in his seat and he's watching out. Occasionally he gets up and looks around the landscape to see if there are any dragons or anything that would warrant him ringing that bell. He's waiting for his moment to shine, and this mod definitely is a welcome addition to Skyrim. And on that note, I am going to have to leave. I haven't slept in a while. I can't ask you to give more of a shit than me. Rate, comment, subscribe if you so choose to. If not, to hell with it, fuck. You don't need to. Not when the world is full of PewDiePie videos. He's a national treasure.